man, Trump man.
He'll make America great.
Alright, I need. Alright, hold up, we gotta start over.
With a great big mile. But all my buddies way down south say, he'll make America great again.
Look how she flies.
So majestic. It's no coincidence our truck is blue.
Stranger things have already happened.
So who thinks $177 for 2 bottles of acetylene is ridiculous? I sure do. This is Trenton, and it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm already hungry because the Napa's right beside the McDonald's. There's like 5 hamburger joints in Trenton, and they're putting up another one. Like, so can somebody put up a Arby's or a Chick-fil-A or something like that? A good buffet, because you know, there's only so many hamburgers a man can eat. We fixing to go pull a few ears of corn to get take and have moisture tested to see where this one farm is. We're gonna have to drive right past it on the way to another farm, and if it's ready, it was the very last we planted, but if it's anywhere close to ready, we don't want to have to pass it and then come back. This is the very last corn we planted, other than a little bit of replant. It's really changed a lot in the past couple of days. It was green as a gourd a week ago. It's pretty decent looking corn. Looks a lot better. Failed out of the way all the way to the end. I guess should have planted it thicker, but it's cropland 5340. It's the first year I've ever planted it. Let's see, it don't have a very big kernel, but it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That one's 20 around, probably about 30 long. There's an 18 along. That one come up off a hill. It's 16 around, but you see a lot of these boys on YouTube and Facebook and stuff. I got a big old long ear, and I can always produce some girthy ears. I don't know how they're growing these with the great old big long ears. I don't know if they're doing something at a different stage than I am. I have noticed that the starter fertilizer will normally always adds me 2 rows around to the girth of the ear. That's just my observation from using starter fertilizer over the years. It's not convenient and it's not easy toting it around, but I think it makes a difference. We've been running fungicide and furrow. Been using generic Quadris. This year I used some Xanthion. It's got a biological component to it, and I'm anxious to get in some corn that we used it in to see what we got. Randy Dowdy always talks about uniform ear heights. We done pretty good, and then something happened right here. I don't know, but these are all pretty well. I think we done pretty good on air placement this year. Every now and then you'll find one that's a little high, but this is the first time I've really walked off in this corn. I've kind of been dreading looking at it because it was the very last we planted and on a tough hill, and I ain't really crazy about hill corn planted toward the end of May. But I'm happy with how it looks. The only thing I'm worried about is test weight. If test weight's a little light, we might see our yield suffer. We run out of this corn here. The moisture on it didn't have much moisture. Robert's using a new app. He said Pioneer has said you take a picture of the ear and it's going to tell you what it's going to yield.
Says
Oh, we got to take pictures of multiple ears.
Says for a better estimate.
For a better estimate. Robert, quit taking pictures of your ear. 340 bushel.
Let's see.
New state record.
Said estimated yield minimum 202 to 260.
202 to 260.
Stand count.
Did you tell them where and when?
What would you say stand count?
28.5.
180 to max 231 with an average of 210.
I'm gonna zoom in on this because if this shit's, oops, excuse me, Facebook. If this is wrong, all right, Pioneer, way to build my hopes up. 180 to 231 with the average of 210. I ain't seen this farm. I don't think they're accounting for the fence rows. We need to go get some little shrimpy ears and see what it says. So it's September the 17th. About 12:30. We're getting ready to start shelling. We've been having big dews. And we've been working on, we just piddle on stuff at the shop in the mornings. We've been shelling in the afternoons, giving time to dry down. Corn's not drying down very fast. This is the second year I've worked this farm. Used to be a cow pasture. More and more of the pastures around here are disappearing, going into row crop. Just nobody wants to fool with cattle no more. But yeah, it's my anniversary. We've been married for 9 years. Got a 7-year-old girl and a 4-year-old little boy. And maybe she'll come ride the combine or the big truck with me in a little while. I told her when we got married, I said, "You sure you won't pick September 17th? I said, "'Cause you do know I'm a farmer." And she said, yeah, that was fine with her. So it's worked out good over the years. We've always been able to manage to do something for our anniversary. We bought us a camper, and I think we're gonna go camping this weekend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like I said, the corn's not drying down very fast anyway, so that gives us a chance to go do something. We've always managed to, we've always been able to manage to go do something for our birthday and not interfere with harvest too bad. Now, I don't know if y'all can tell it, but there's a wide road right there. And you see that corn leaning over, pulling into the header. The reason for that is I have a 8-row corn planter and a 6-row corn header. And it can be aggravating on inroads and stuff, but we've always managed to make it work. I've thought about upgrading to a 8-row corn header, but we really need to have, if we're going to do that, we really need to have a second truck so that we can keep it hauled away, because when you increase your harvesting that much, you know, you're not gonna be able to keep it hauled off as fast. So we need a truck before we need another header. Now what we do, we've talked about going to a 12-row planter, especially with these wet springs we've been having, so that when these windows of opportunity happen to shell corn, to plant corn, that we can get in there and get it done. So we've been talking about doing that. We got multiple options we could go. Probably the thing that would benefit us the most was the second truck. What we do is my brother normally runs the combine, and I run the cart, you know, when I'm here, and then I take a load off the town. The cart, we try to unload on the go every chance we get. The cart, more or less, is just a holding vessel until I can get back with the truck. So, but we've been able to make it work this year. But our yields keep climbing and climbing and climbing every year. We've started 170 bushel corn's kind of pretty well got to be average for us, and we've been having some farms average close to 200 or over 200. And I was beginning to kind of become the norm, kind of like 300 bushel corn up north is kind of becoming the norm. We put that camera on so that we can see behind us. But I'll talk to y'all again a little later. I'm working these corners out, but we'll talk to you in a minute. So we're in pretty good hill corn right here. It's running 212, 216. Last night I got
it. Could be chicken as weird as it is. This thing is like this job that this thing is nasty.
Robert's giving his commentary. We've been debating on this moisture. This corn looks drier than what it's showing. We can't figure it out. But anyway, yeah. The problem is it's making 208, 200 through here. But then you got them fence rows over there that drag your average down. Now, that's what I'm talking about right there. Talk to me, Daddy. And notice how the good corn is drier than the Sawyer corn. That makes absolutely no sense to me at all. So right here we got on the top, that's our instant yield, okay? Right there, I'm sorry, I'm trying to watch the roads, drive and all this, but that's our instant yield. Second number is our average yield per acre, which if it stays up there above 220, it should climb up there pretty quick. Second number is our moisture, and the third number is the acres we've shelled so far. Almost made a mess. Bob stopped a little sooner than I was expecting. Put the corn on the buggy. You gotta be careful on these hillsides with big buggy loads like that. One tip, the buggy's either over or you spill corn off the side of it. You see this big grassy area right here? It was wet as crap this spring. Somebody that's driving this combine may or may not got a sprayer stuck right there. Just filled up with a load of chemical. I just filled up with a load of chemical. Come bebopping around behind that pond, and apparently that pond has a seep in it. And next thing I know, I was not moving forward. Corn is short. There's some light dirt where this farm had eroded. Like I said, this is the only second year we've worked this farm. It used to be cow pasture. It used to be real growed up. The man that owns it bought this farm and cleared it off. There's a bunch of fence rows and stuff. He cleaned it off, called us, wanted to know if we wanted to work it. We said, sure. Well, we got over here and he showed us, and I thought it was, it looked a little better than it actually was. Let me just say that. We got over here working on it, it was a little rougher than I thought it was. But it's turned out to be a pretty good farm. We cut 50-something bushel beans off of it this year, and looks like the corn's gonna make good. One issue we did have this year with this farm, it's got that pond there, and that pond's got a seep in it, and it drowned that area out. And there's also an overflow pipe in that pond that flows through there, and there's another grassy area that that overflow pipe drowned it out. But this right here, and you can see part of it, this was a bluff. Right here where I'm standing went straight down. I mean, if you didn't know it was there, you could drop a combine off of it or a tractor off of it or something. You can see right there, that's a bluff. It's just straight down. And what we done, I took the dozer blade on that 46 and sloped this hill pretty well. Had to reshape this whole entire hill with that 46. It's steep as crap, but I've got it to where it'll make corn and you know, grow a crop on it. And knock on wood, it hadn't eroded yet, but I gotta get on the tractor and go down there. He's showing off him inrows. He'll probably need me for long. There's another truckload. Slingshot engaged. Shake and bake. If you ain't first, you're last. little smoother. Here's some of them good steep slopes I was telling you about. Oh, scratch. Oh, shit. Come up there. Oh. Halfway scary. She's scratching coming up that hill now. The what I call pucker factor on this farm, meaning your butthole draws up, can be about 200% sometimes. Just throwing that number out there. Add another one to the books, boys and girls. We gotta get going. Gotta get going before he fills everything up. She thinks she's scared to death she's gonna get left, like I would leave her. There's something leaking there up on there. Oh well. Here we go. Alright, let's go. Come on if you're going. Come on. Come on.